Good morning. This is Rebecca from Rebecca Inc. And today we are going to draw a yak. Thank you, Coach Smargowitz, for the suggestion. What you are going to need to do this is a pencil, an eraser, a marker, and a piece of paper. All right, so put me on pause, gather up your supplies, and come right back. I will be here. Move my guide there. All right, so you are going to start with your pencil. Your paper is going to be lined up so it's nice and wide. Line your paper up horizontally because our yak is going to fill up the whole page today. We're going to start just like we did yesterday with the polar bear. We're going to start in the upper left-hand corner with the yak's face. Let's get your arm moving. Start at the shoulder, keeping your wrist nice and still. Oh, I need to switch to my marker so you can see what I'm doing better. You are going to use your pencil. So start your arm moving in a nice circular shape. When you feel like you've got your circle in a nice shape that's about this size, set your pencil down and start drawing around and around and around and around. You will arrive at a really nice circular shape if you use your whole arm. Don't overthink it. If it's stressing you out, take a deep breath. All right. From our circle, we're going to work down to the nose of our yak, and we are going to use a rectangle. The rectangle is going to live right about here in our circle, and it's going to go down about to here. See how I went beyond where I wanted to go? That's not a big deal. In the long run, we are going to end up erasing our rectangle that we've drawn with our pencil. So don't overthink it. Don't erase anything. Just let it happen. Okay, next up, we're going to draw a wider rectangle. Our wider rectangle is going to start at the base of this rectangle, just like that. And it's going to go back up into our circle, just like that. And over and back down. See how I'm going over and over my lines and see how they're not perfect? Yours should look like that too. Don't worry about it being perfect. Art is not perfect. All right, so we've drawn a circle for the top of our head. We've drawn a rectangle and a rectangle. Let's add, in the base of that rectangle, let's add an upside down triangle, just like this. Nice triangle right in the middle of those rectangles, just like that. If you need to rotate your paper, because you can only draw a triangle going the other direction, rotate your paper by all means, and then rotate it back when you're done. From there, we are going to draw a nice little arc connecting this part of this rectangle to this part. For that, I'm going to, again, from my shoulder, be moving my whole arm to get the idea of that shape. Just like that. If you want to think of it like a smile, because that's going to be his chin, but you can draw a little smiley face right there. All right, moving up back to the head, let's add in our eyes. At the top of this larger rectangle, we are going to draw a nice circle that is going to be an eye. It's going to be about that big. Now this time, because it's a smaller circle, I'm not getting my whole arm involved, but I did plant my elbow and then just move my hand around and around and around. You do the same. Then let's go over to the other side. Go around and around and around and around, just like that. From there, we are going to kind of cut our circle in half. We're going to actually go 3/4 of the way up and draw a nice arc, just like that. It's going to be our yak's eyelashes. And we're going to do the same on the other side. And below that, we are going to draw 2 circles in each eye for our iris and our pupil. They're going to fill up that whole circle, and then in the center of that circle, do the same on the other side. Our iris is the colored part of your eye, and the pupil is the part that you see out of. So, and they're going to be facing out. If you look at a yak, they have, their eyes are kind of on the side of their head a little bit. All right, let's draw the yak's horns. For this, you are going to put your hand up toward the top of your paper, and we are going to draw a nice arc. We're planting our hand, keeping it nice and still, and we're just going to do this with our pencil. A nice little arc, just like that. Not too involved. We're not sketching. We are doing a nice arc, planting our hand, and swinging our wrists ever so slightly. See that? All right, let's do that on the other side. It lives about in the same place. It does not matter if your horns are not perfect or if they are not exactly the same, because I would imagine a yak is not completely symmetrical when you look at them in person. Okay, so we've drawn a circle for the head, 2 rectangles for the nose of our yak, a little smile for our chin, an upside down triangle for our nose, and a series of 3 circles for our eyes, and then a little arc to create our eyelid and our eyelashes. Now we are going to draw our yak's ears. Right next to that eye and overlapping it, we're just going to draw an oval about that size, an angle just like that. That will become our yak's ear. All right, making sure you can see me. Okay, back to the other side, draw another oval, just like that. Those are going to be our yak's ears. Now yaks have a really cute detail. They can be all shaggy, or they can have a haircut. Our yak is going to have a partial haircut, but on the top of his head, he's going to have this nice little poof of hair. So we are going to draw another upside down triangle that's going to come down to the center of that larger rectangle and then back up to the top of our circle, just like that, and over. This is where our little fun tuft of hair is going to live. We're going to add some details to that in a minute, but for now, let's move on to our yak's body. We are going to start with a giant rectangle to give us the idea of the size of our yak. So just head into the head just a little bit above the eye and draw all the way over to about there. Now from this, I'm keeping my wrist still and my pencil still, and I am moving my elbow and my shoulder to give me that nice straight line. So if you want to, get your arm going so you can figure out where that's going to live, how long it's going to be, and then once you feel comfortable, set your pencil down. You did a great job. Okay, now we are going to go straight down from there. Again, same motion from your from your shoulder. You're going to move your whole arm. You're keeping your hand and your wrist nice and still. Once you get the shape that you want, put your pencil down, make your mark. All right, heading back the other way, same drill from your shoulder, move your whole arm, get your pencil going, set it down when you feel comfortable, and then back up. We have created a nice rectangle for our yak's body. But yaks don't have a completely rectangle body, so we are going to add in some ovals and some circles to give this body the muscles and the shape of our yak. So let's go to the top of the head, and we're going to get our arm going, whole arm. Your wrist isn't moving, your pencil is nice and still in your hand, and you're going to get your whole arm going from your shoulder and start drawing an oval about this size. Once you feel comfortable that you've got your shape, set your pencil down and draw your nice oval just like that. Very good. Just like that. Okay, do you see where our oval and our rectangle meet? We're going to fill that in just like we did yesterday with a nice little triangle. It's going to be our connector. Then we're going to follow along our rectangle just a little ways, about to here, and we're going to draw another oval. Now this oval is going to create a hump on our yak's tush, and it is going to be about this size. Can you see how big I'm making that? And it's slightly angled. I'd like for you to do the same. Slightly angle your oval, just like that. And it's going to be about that size. See how I'm going over it and it's not perfect? That's exactly how I want yours to be too, not perfect. And then we're going to add in a tiny little triangle right there. If you can hear me okay, give me a wow face on your iPad right now. All right. From there, we are moving down to the leg portion. Now we are going to draw an oval, a circle, and an oval. So let's do this back oval. It's going to overlap and go beyond our rectangle, and it's going to come almost all the way up to our tilted oval we just drew. It's going to be like this, about like that. So get your arm moving. Again, your hand and your pencil are completely still, and you're moving your whole arm from your shoulder. Once you feel like you've got your shape, set your pencil down, and you'll get a really nice oval. Go around and around and around. When we trace over it, we are going to pick our favorite part of that oval to trace over. Okay, let's go to the belly. The belly is going to be a nice big circle. So get your arm going, and once you've arrived at a shape that you like, set your pencil down, and you'll have a really nice circle that lives there. All right, so far we have one oval, two ovals, three ovals, and a really nice circle, big circle for his belly. Okay, next to this big circle, moving back toward the face, we're going to draw another oval, and it's going to be about up to the chin there, or just past, and down below that rectangle. Draw an oval. All right. From there, we are going to draw a triangle from about the center of that chin down to that first rectangle. And back up. Just like that. See that triangle that lives there? That's going to be our connector. It's going to be part of his neck. Okay, on to their feet. Now, for such a large body, yaks have the tiniest, cutest little legs you've ever seen. So from the base of your large rectangle, let's start with his front feet. We're going to draw two long, skinny rectangles for the legs. So there's going to be one there. That's so good. You do the same. Long, skinny rectangle. Don't worry about it being too perfect. For this one, I am using my fingers and my wrist just a little bit. I'm not getting my whole arm going because it's a smaller shape. I guess we could try it using your whole arm if you want. You could do that if you want. If you're more comfortable with the larger motions, get your shoulder involved and set your pencil down when you get to the shape you want. All right, so I've got two legs. Well, now they're little feet. At the base of this front rectangle, let's draw a square, just like that. And then let's add on a triangle for the hoof, just like that. All right, so you drew a square and then a triangle. Now on this back leg, we're not going to see the hoof, so we are just going to draw a square. Round and around, just like that. All right, all the way back now to the back end of our rectangle. We're going to draw the other two legs. Okay, so the other two legs are going to live just a little bit in from the tail end there of that rectangle. And we're going to draw, again, just these same two shapes. Two nice, long, skinny rectangles. I'm going to draw the back one first, and it's going to live right about here. Yours can be in a little bit, however you want it to be, but their legs are skinny, skinny. For that big body, their legs are so tiny. All right, on this one, I'm going to go ahead and add in my square for the hoof, and then my triangle, just like that. And then I'm going to go a little in front of that one and draw another rectangle. Now this one, because it's in front, I'm going to let it live just a little bit below that back one. So I've drawn my nice long skinny rectangle, and I'm adding in a square for the foot. Give me a heart if you're having fun. And then after you draw your square, you're going to add in a little triangle, just like that. So cute. Okay, now the yak, our yak, he has a haircut. So if you Google a yak and you look at all the different ones, I picked a yak that had a haircut. So he had short hair up through here, and then long shaggy hair down through here. So we're going to add in a couple little indicators that show where our shoulder for our yak is and where our hip for our yak is. So with your pencil, up on this first oval, just do a little bit darker line right there. That's going to indicate the shoulder. And then a little bit darker line on this back oval, right here, where these two, where the oval meets the circle, give a little bit darker line there. When we go over it with our marker, we'll use those as our guide. Okay, so let's add in some of the jiggies for the hair, for the mussy hair that they have. Let's go up to the head, and we are going to draw just very simply this kind of shape where we're going up and down and up and down and up and down. Get nice and loose with it. You can make your yak have tiny little ups and downs. You can make it have bigger ups and downs. But we're going to go around the top part of that circle, like that, up and down and up and down and up and down. And then around that triangle, like that. And we're going to go back up to that corner of the triangle, up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, just like that. Then we're going to do that same motion along his neck, up and down. If it helps you to say it, say it. Then we're going to follow. See how we drew these circles and the ovals, and then the circle, and then the oval? The yak's fur is going to live at the base and come back up and go back down and come back up and go back down. So we're going to draw that same up and down and up and down and up and down with our pencil, just like that, following the base of those shapes. And then where they meet that big rectangle, you're just going to let it go flat and then back down around that circle, just like that. And then back down around that oval, just like that. And when you come to the back end, stop right there. Go up to where your oval meets the rectangle and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth there. All right, I think our yak is going to be really cute. We're going to set down your pencil and we're going to grab your marker. I'm going to grab my guide and trace right along with you. I think I did all the same things. Sometimes I switch it up. I think I did all the same thing. So I'm going to grab this so I can follow along right with you with the pencil. Actually, let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we are going to start with grabbing another guide here to make sure I chase all the right things. Let's start with the horns. We're going to go up to the top of that far horn, and we're going to follow it down and stop at the head. All right, then let's go back up to the top, follow it down, and stop at the head. Then we're going to jump over to our circle here. We are going to go around that circle, and then where our eye circle went, we're going to give a little bump there, and then back to that circle. So I'm on the circle, I drew around our little eye bump, back to the circle. Now we're going to go over the rectangle that starts to be our nose. Go over that, and this one you're going to follow that big rectangle down and over and back up to where it meets our circle. So go ahead and do that. You went down over the rectangle, over and across in front of the mouth, then back up to our circle. Stop there. We're going to go around the circle, a little bit around our eye bump, and back up to the mussy hair. All right, let's do this horn next. Let's start at the top of the horn and go down around. You're following your favorite line that you drew with your pencil, and you're just tracing over with your marker. Try not to sketch. Try to just drag your marker right over the lines that you've already created. Let's do the ears next. We're just going to do that U part of that oval. It's going to stick out right like that. And back over to the other side. Nice U for our oval. All right, let's do our mouth. So we're going to go do that little smile at the bottom there. So good. Then, okay, you see where we have our upside down triangle? This is where we're going to put our nose. You can just put 2 little marks on that triangle, just like that. That's going to be our nose. All right, let's go up and do the eyes. For the eyes, let's start on the right side so that you can see the shape. We drew a full big circle there. We're going to draw like a C. We're going to just fill in that much of that circle. Then we're going to go where we sliced it and drew our eyelash. We're going to do that. I'm going to add another one so you can see it. Drew our eyelash just like that. Then we're going to draw a little bit of that circle we had inside there for the iris. And then a little circle for the pupil. Let's go back to the other side. We're going to go around the top part of that circle. Stop there. Let's draw our eyelid where we sliced that circle. I'm going to add another one so you can see where that is. Then we're going to go inside and trace around a little portion of that circle there, become our iris, the colorful part of the eye. And then draw that circle for the center part for the pupil. All right, very, very cute. I'm going to save the fur for the end because I think that's going to be fun. So maybe we need to do the top of it so you know where to connect. So let's go around, let's trace around the fur that we drew with the jiggy jigs. Don't worry if you don't trace over exactly where you had it. That's okay, as long as it gives that idea of that mussy hair on the top. Let's just do that portion. Just around the top, up and down, 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 up and down. Don't overthink it, it's for fun. All right, now we're going to move on to the body. If I am going too fast for you at any point, pause me, catch up, and come right back, and I will be here. Okay, so now we're going to draw over this hump. We are going to draw right over the top part of that oval. Lift your pen when you get to your horn, and then put it right back down. You're going from the top of the oval, and then you're going to connect that oval to our large rectangle using the top of that triangle. Then you're going to go along that rectangle over to our other oval. Now this mark, we're going to go around this portion of our oval, just this little portion right here. So go around that portion of our oval and stop there. Now we are going to draw just a little section from our big rectangle. Now we are on to the larger ovals. We are going to draw around that oval, and then we're going to get into the jiggy jigs of the fur. Okay, so around that oval, and then just start going up and down and up and down, up, down, up, down. What kind of shaggy fur does your yak have? Is it tiny and tight? Is it long and loose? Just creating some nice little up and down. Now you'll feel, as you get around that circle, it'll start to feel awkward with your hand. Switch the direction of your fur at that point when it starts to feel awkward. Remember that little mark that we made up here to show where his hip was? Let's go ahead and draw right over top of that. All right, back down to his cute little belly. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now right here, it starts to feel funny for my hand to be going at that direction. So I'm going to rotate my hand just a little bit and go the other direction. And that will feel better. All right, we're going to stop there. Remember that little mark we made up here to show his shoulder? We're going to go ahead and fill that in. You're doing a great job. All right, back down around this oval. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then we're going to go up to our chinny chin and do that up and down there where it connects down and connect it. All right, so can you start to see your yak taking shape here? For your legs, we are going to draw down the rectangle onto the triangle, around the square, and back up. Just a nice line like that, down around that rectangle onto the triangle, over to that square, and back up. Then we're going to add back in that little line. So it's like his leg and his hoof. Onto the back one, down around the base of that square and up. And then we're going to add in that little line for his hoof. Let's go back to the back end, down around the rectangle, to the triangle, along the bottom of the triangle and the square, and up, just like that. Drawing your line to separate the two. Last foot, down around that rectangle, onto the triangle, across the triangle and the square, and straight back up. Add in that little line to separate the two. Alright, you are almost done. Let's go back up to this cute little face and add a few details. We are going to draw in the shaggy part of the hair up there. We're going to go up and down around that triangle that we drew and the shaggy parts that we added in a little bit ago. There we go. And then across the top of the nose, let's add a cute little line. That's right there for his nose. And I think we are done. So set down your marker, just like that. Grab your eraser. It can be a big eraser. It can be a pink big eraser. I know a lot of kids have those for school. Or you can use the end of a pencil eraser if you have one. All right. Let's go ahead. My eraser needs some cleaning. Let's go ahead and grab your eraser, and we're going to just erase over all the lines that we drew for our guides. Just like this. Hold your paper down so it doesn't gather up and wrinkle. I always used to hate when I would wrinkle my paper. Keep going with that, and you're going to be left with a really, really cute yak. I would love to see what you drew today, so please send me pictures of your yak in the comments below. I'm also going to need some suggestions on what else we can draw, so send me what you want to draw, and if you want to tell me your name, I can say, hey, London, I'm drawing this for you today. Okay, this one was for Coach Smorgowitz. He has yaks on his farm, and he wanted to draw a yak today. So here you go, Coach. All right, so there is, oh, I got a paper underneath there. There is our yak. He's very, very cute. If you're looking for some other fun things to do, you are welcome to check out my website. I'm going to add the puppy pages I said I was going to add yesterday. I'm going to do those today. It's a little hectic with everybody in the house. I'm sure your house is very much the same way, but feel free, go to RebeccaInc.com. On the front page, you'll see a link where you can click on and go find some coloring pages that you can download to do at home. You can also check me out at RebeccaIncabink.com on Instagram. And you can see projects that I've been working on, and you can see some cool time-lapse videos on there. I hope you enjoyed drawing a yak with me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Bye.